Hey everybody, and we're live in the hen house with the beautiful Tarzan Kay. I'm so excited to have her here today and talk all about her awesome business, beautiful copywriting business. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Angela. I'm a creative business strategist and productivity coach. I help you focus on planning, prioritizing, strategizing, organizing, and everything in between to create yourself an inspired life and business. And I'm really excited to have Tarzan here today to tell us all about her awesome business.
I'm super excited to be here. Hi, Angela. Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us all about you. Give us a little quick bio of yourself. I'd love to learn all about you in detail.
Thank you so much. So I've been doing the copywriting thing for about 5 years. I started on a whirlwind trip to Australia where I'd been living in Montreal for about 10 years, and I was in law school. I had a bad boyfriend. I had everything, all the wrong things. I had them all. So I decided to just chuck it all, and I went to Australia. And when I was in Australia, it was a really big shift and a lot of things happened. One of which was that I started writing, something that I always wanted to do and was just not doing. So while I was in Australia, I wrote a book, and I also got my first job writing for an agency out there in Sydney. And so when I came back to Australia, or came back to Canada, which is where I live, I realized I discovered something really great that I love doing, which was copywriting for businesses. So I spent the next couple years, freelancing, freestyling, kind of making as much money as I needed to, but not taking my business very seriously. And then I had a baby in 2014, which was awesome. But
wow. Congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah. So once I got out of, the baby head thing and had to actually start producing an income because I had a family, I really wanted to work, and my husband decided to stay home, be a stay-at-home dad. Super awesome, super cool guy. So he's staying at home, and I went back to work. And so at that point, I really had to make my business actually work and make money and support a family of 3 and pay the mortgage and all those beautiful things, which was really exciting for me. I really needed that. Until then, I never had a fire under my butt, and I just kind of liked to work when it felt like and not work when I didn't feel like. So it was a big change. And as you can see behind me, I have this beautiful, beautiful office now. I have a beautiful rockin' business. And I guess I have my family to thank for that, because I needed that little fire to get things going. Yeah.
Gotta love the baby brain too. And what a sweet hubby to stay home and be able to let you.
Totally. He's so in his element. And I really recognize when you're a woman in business, if you don't have the support of your husband, you're dead in the water before you even start. It's a really huge, total game changer. Like, have someone to go home to and share. Every time I make a big sale, I get a high five. When I'm working on a deal, like, he talks it through and encourages me and believed in me when I was like, oh my God, I don't know how we're going to make this work,
I love hearing that, actually, because it's so much more supportive when you have somebody that comes home and is giving you that high five at the end of the day. Like,
totally.
Instead of like, oh, what did you do all day? Or did you make it or not? Like, why don't you get a real job or whatever? Some people have that, and it's really hard.
For sure, especially in lean times when, when you're in business, you're not always making money right away. And there's sometimes a month here or there where you got to really dig into the savings, and it's scary. So if your husband or your partner is also scared and gets spooked easily, it could kill your business. So I'm lucky to have a not only supportive, but also really courageous partner who understands what we're after, right? Because we also wanted to have freedom. I work virtually. So that's really important to make our own hours. If he's got something he needs to do, I can cover for him. It's been really awesome.
Wonderful. Awesome. So tell me all about your business message and your brand that you've created.
Yeah, for sure. So I work with mainly with women entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of coaches and speakers, people who have a really big message to share. Oftentimes they have a very unique voice, and perhaps they're you know, it can be difficult to translate on their websites. Like I focus primarily on copywriting versus content writing. If you think about content writing, it's more blogs, articles, a program, that sort of thing. Whereas copywriting is more the stuff that is really going to make a sale. Because when you're young in your business, it doesn't really make sense to hire someone to do your content writing. It's too expensive, especially if you're paying someone that is going to do a great job. It's expensive and it takes a long time to see return on investment. But things like sales pages and website copy, that kind of stuff, you can see return on investment within weeks. So that's the stuff I really focus on, and that's the kind of stuff I encourage my clients to invest in. It's really worth it. If you busted your butt building a program all about your coaching services, and then
oh man, freeze. And wait,
that's typically where people. What's that?
Oh, it froze for a minute. I was just waiting for you to come back.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
You're back. Awesome. Okay, that's awesome. So how do you really connect with the voice? Like, how would you connect with what I'm trying to present? Do you know what I mean? Like, to get my voice right in my voice so that it's reflecting me.
Yeah, for sure. That's the biggest challenge, and that's the biggest what if that people stumble on when they're looking to work with a copywriter. So the first thing I do is I have a very in-depth questionnaire that clients fill out. And it's all about identifying their ideal client and like it's more marital status and all that stuff. Like I ask a lot of questions. Hang out. What blogs does she read? What does she do in the evening? Does she have kids? Does she hang out with her kids? What are her fears? Like the questions are really, they require you to take kind of a real deep dive into your business. And a lot of times they're questions that people have never asked themselves. And it's really, really important work because, I mean, on an energetic level, you're spending time identifying who you want to connect with, and that's really powerful. But even in terms of your website copy, all of that stuff can really determine the language that you use and those types of things. So people start with a document and they fill it out. It's a bit of work. So after that, we would do a Skype meeting, something like this, get to know each other's businesses, and then I do a draft, and then we do another meeting, get some revisions, and usually that's the whole process. Yeah. Oh, your screen's frozen there.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it must be a busy day on Zoom today.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh well, we'll just keep winging.
No problem.
No worries. So I just don't want anyone to miss what you said. That is so awesome.
No worries.
That's like the key is to tapping into your client's voice, because that's what's going to make or break the copy, isn't it? Because then they're happy. They're like, oh, how did you like dig so deep into me and know everything? That's exactly what I wanted to say, that kind of thing. Like, that's totally key.
Yeah, totally. Another thing I do is work collaboratively, pardon me, inside a Google Doc or Word, go over and this line and actually write the copy together. It's something that I often do in the revision stage, because there's often things that they'll say, hey, this isn't quite what I do. Actually, the working together live is super, super effective.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's exciting. I love it. So tell us all why the competitors should choose you. Like, what's your special sauce? What do you bring to the table that sets you apart, makes your business a little bit different? And I know you're full of energy and spunk, and you bring a lot to the table, so I'd love to hear.
Yeah, well, I would not say choose me over someone else. I would say that people choose me because we have a connection. Or then they've always seen where their routines are drawn them to, and the time they come to see me, they're already convinced. Like, if you visit my website and look at the style in which it's written, It's pretty powerful. It's pretty risque. So when you read it, you are either very put off by it, or you're like, yes, I want to work with her. And that's done intentionally, because that's what helps me work with the right clients and help the right people. And people that I can't help, they will not be impressed with my website or my blogs. They'll immediately say, this is not for me. So when you're looking for a copywriter, that's really important, is to visit their website and see what they're all about, read some articles and see if you like them, because it is kind of an intimate thing. So it's important to see if you have that connection. But I think it's mostly intuitive. That's why I'm saying, don't choose me. Ask your intuition who you should work with.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So have you always been, tell us how long you've been doing this, and maybe have you always been inspired to do this kind of thing, or is this something new for you?
I have this little story that I saved from a primary school, and it's like a picture book, and it's a little story, and there's a the teacher graded it on the back and says you have a gift for writing. And oh my God, that statement was so powerful, because I was told that so early, and all of my life I carried it with me that I have a gift for writing. It may not have even been true at the time, but the fact that she said it was really powerful. So as I said, I had thought of that for a long time, that I wanted to be a writer and never did it until I left for Australia. So I guess it's over 5 years ago, but something like that. I like saying 5 because it's a round number.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what do you do right now for your marketing and your stuff? Where would people find you? Where do you share your stuff? And
That's a great question. I have really made some changes in my marketing this year. Like most people I know and that I work with, I kind of knew that I should be publishing a blog. I should be regularly updating and sending out a newsletter. And I kind of had this oh shit, yeah.
Oh, I know your box.
Yeah. You know that you're supposed to be doing that too. But this year I actually did start doing it. So I publish a bi-weekly blog, and every time I publish a blog, I send out a newsletter. And I do guest blogging, which again is something has been on my should list for a long time, and is now on my doing list.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, really powerful, really paying off. And another thing that has been a really big game changer is that I've started taking some online courses and educating myself about business and marketing and all sorts of different things. So that has been really huge, because it's put me in communities with other entrepreneurs, and it's introduced me to people who I've hired to do stuff for me, and people who have hired me and recommended me to their friends. It's been a really, really big, that's probably been the biggest game changer. And I resisted doing it for a long time because I thought I couldn't afford to invest in my business, which I see now how stupid that was, because it lost me a lot of money. And now, anything I've invested in courses and training, I always get back at least double.
But isn't it so funny that you have to get to a certain point to be able to recognize when you invest in yourself, you're asking people to invest in you. So why aren't we investing in ourselves constantly? It's a constant process.
That's such a great point, when we ask others to do it and we don't do it for ourselves. And that could be why it's been so powerful, because I started investing in myself. It makes my message a lot more authentic.
It sure does. Yeah. I love your message. It's so cool. So where do you pull your imagination, and where do you go to get your creativity from when you're coming up with all this? Because this is a lot. You're taking on a lot of different businesses, concepts, and bringing them in and trying to be there. Wondering where.
That's a good question. When I'm working on other people's businesses, interviewing them is really powerful. Reading their testimonials is really powerful. I get inspiration from the businesses that they love, the people they love, and who they follow online. That's really helpful in terms of nailing down the language that I'm going to use for their website. But creativity is it's a spiritual thing, and it's also just a work thing. Like I show up every day. You know, I could sleep late and I could leave work early because I am my own boss. So technically I don't have to arrive at 9 o'clock and leave at whenever. But, you know, showing up and sitting down and doing the work is the only way to get your beautiful creative message out. There's no shortcut. You have to sit down and do it.
So just from what you said, I'd love to know, like, how do you, like, do you have a daily schedule? Do you have something where you're like some sort of a structured thing for you?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for asking. I love your questions, Angela. And it's a total pleasure to share these things. It's absolutely wonderful. So I have an agenda, which is the Danielle Laporte's Desire Map agenda, which I love. It's so great. It's a beautiful agenda, and it's beside me all day. So when I come into the office, the first thing I do before I open my computer or do anything else is I sit down and I set some goals. Like some of those are like, I'd like to buy a second house, and I'd like to take a summer vacation. Some of them are distant goals, and some of them are like, I would like to be featured on this blog in the next 30 days. So it's a mix of those types of things. But again, like I do that first. Think about what I want to achieve before I think about what's in my inbox. And then I get my planner out, and my planner, I plan my day. And I got this from my coach that I work with. She recommended that I write down, like physically write down with a pen and paper, 3 things. And she recommended this a long time. Her name's Kathleen Milligan. She's a wonderful coach. She recommended this when I was not working. It was just a personal thing to help me just feel like I was getting somewhere and accomplishing something. I think I was pregnant and not working very much. So I started writing down 3 things by hand, and it was so powerful. Like every day I feel such a sense of achievement because I've done those 3 things. So my list always has 3 things. It usually has a lot more, and I don't get to everything. But
I'm there.
Yeah, but I'm a total achiever.
So.
Yeah. I'm like a total achievement junkie. So being able to cross things off a list, it gives me a huge, huge rush.
Oh, I love that. That's totally me. I know. I love that. I do bullet journaling, and I have this really awesome planner. It's not the one that you talked about. It's just a different one, but it's color it in and every month. And yeah, I just love to do the goal setting and all that stuff. I think that actually and you know what? I'm a little different because I like to go against the grain, and first thing I do is I check all my emails. I don't respond to anything. I just read them and I delete all the crap, and I unsubscribe, whatever it is, because sometimes you get random stuff, right? And then you're not supposed to do that, but I feel like everybody on my clients says we do custom to what works for them, and so that's totally against the grain for super. And I'm a productivity coach too, so I mean, but I'm so creative. I need that crap out of I need all those emails out of my space. I need to know, I already know what's in there. And anything new I don't look at that isn't in the box when I get up. I have a little schedule and my little self time. And then I'll do the goal setting like you. So I think and I love crossing it off and making lists and, because it's so much more powerful to be able to catch yourself when you're distracted, to bring yourself back to that. Where am I? Like, what was I working on? I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, and you can go right back into your little strategy.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it works, do it. Yeah. Like one thing I do find is I've written stuff down, like I've made a list of stuff I need to accomplish, and then something arrives in my inbox and whoa, plan is like out the window. So, I mean, there's no perfect, flawless method.
That's perfect. So you do so much. It's awesome. It's amazing. And I'd love to know, like, at the end of the day, what kind of things, or not maybe even the day, but the week or the month, like, how do you take care of yourself? What do you do to decompress? Like, how do you keep yourself, you run a very structured kind of beautiful business, and like, you must have to do something to self-care to get your mind?
Yeah, that is a really good question. And it's a big sticking point for me, especially because my business is really rocking right now and I'm really loving it. So I have to really, work on leaving the office at the office. But one thing I do is I leave at 5 o'clock. I don't stay late because I want to spend time with my son and my husband. And that's like, that's what keeps me sane. So that's one thing I do. I used to meditate a lot. I actually met my husband at a meditation retreat a couple of years ago, but having a baby kind of derailed that. So I just put down a mat in my office and created a little space where I can sit and meditate. So I'm doing that a little bit. I'd like to do it every day, but I only do it every couple of days. Another thing I do is I do tapping. I do EFT. So there's this awesome guy on YouTube called Brad Yates, and he has all these awesome videos about just like any emotional situation, or like there's stuff about business, there's stuff about personal, there's stuff that's just about feeling good. So every day I watch one of those videos and I tap, and it keeps me, I think it's keeps me from freaking out sometimes. I also, you can see behind me that I have a diffuser going. So right now,
I love diffusers. That's so fun.
Totally awesome. So like I've been super duper excited lately. And so I got some grounding oils. Like I got white fir and frankincense and something to sort of keep me in check or keep me calm.
Oh, those are great tips. I love the yoga mat in there. So you can kind of just be like, wow, I've really accomplished a lot. I'm going to take a little breather here and get back to my zone.
Sure, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of, like, can you tell us about what kind of things you're most proud of in your business, and just some special accomplishments that you've reached that you're really excited about?
Thank you again for asking that. I'm just so excited to be able to care for my family. Like my husband and my son are at the beach today, and they're hanging out with my sister and her daughter, who is really small baby. She's a newborn. So, I feel so grateful that these kids are getting the best possible care, and that my partner gets to do what he wants, what he loves. Like, I just feel so proud that my business is working. I feel proud to be on my feet. It's a huge, like, I think it's something we don't give ourselves enough credit for, because when you reach a certain level of success, you just tend to change the barometer for what success looks like. So you constantly end up feeling like you're not that successful. But I'm at a level of success that I dreamed of for years and years. And to me, that's a huge achievement, even though the current me is like, well, you could do so much more. Like you could reach so many more people. You could make so much more money. All of these things are still happening in my brain, but I'm really trying to make a point of celebrating what I have achieved so far and where I'm at right now, because as I said, it's a huge dream
for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And it probably wasn't always that way. You probably had like spots where you had like,
of course,
and stuff. And it's like, if for any of you guys watching, if you just hold on, like, Tarzan, do you feel like just get through those road bumps, it's worth it?
Yeah, definitely. It's so worth it. I think, there's definitely a case to be made for letting go of projects too, but it's been so worth it. And I've had lots of doubts along the way. Like I've looked at going back to law school and doing this, that, or the other thing. But it's really paid off to stick it out, because I do love it. And I recognize now that the moments when I thought I should be in a different career, it's just some sort of resistance coming up that had to be dealt with.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Okay, so tell us, like, what kind of new projects are on the horizon for you, and where everybody can find you.
Oh, I'm so excited about my new project. So you can find me at tarzank.com, tarzanKay.com. And I'm currently working on a course, and it's a course about copywriting. and it's very much in its infancy. So I'm still interviewing people about copywriting and the copywriting that they do in their businesses and what their needs are. When I started out, my idea was more about the psychology of how we react to certain words and phrases. So for example, one of my newsletters a couple weeks ago started out with, in case you haven't noticed, blah, 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 XYZ. And I'm working with this behavior change specialist. And when we worked it through, and the phrase we changed it to was, you probably already know this, but XYZ. And that kind of change is really very powerful, because by saying to your audience, maybe you didn't notice, it devalues them and affects them deeply on a subconscious level. Whereas if you presume that they are smart and with it, you probably already know this, but XYZ. My course is about the subtleties of language. It can be really important.
That is key. Like,
Thank you.
I love that. I say I love that a lot, but I really love that. That's like that. That is so true. I'm turned right off when I see an email that said, in case you haven't noticed, or something comes in and like I'm some, should have known something. And
precisely
you said about, and the other, when you turned it around, it was just so much more thought-provoking.
Much more thought-provoking. So there's a lot of examples. I'm working on a little cheat sheet that I'm going to give away to my audience with some words and phrases that are kind of red flags and what to do instead. But it's all very common stuff. Like, there's so many thought memes that we just kind of put out there without thinking about them that are really powerful. So that is the basis of the course. But one thing I've found is that the biggest issue, especially young entrepreneurs are having, is that they're just not doing it. They have a lot of resistance up, a lot of blocks about how much time it's going to take and whether or not they're going to be good at it. So, and also that they'll be able to find their own voice and their own style. So that will also be a part of the program. What I hope to do is to deliver the psychological stuff without anybody knowing. That's what I'm actually teaching. And make it really easy for them to digest so that they actually get it done. Because, as I said, resistance is a huge beast that everybody deals with. And when it comes to copywriting, it can be especially pernicious.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Well, I'm just so happy that you are here and we're able to share all about your amazing business. And we'll definitely have Tarzan's links underneath and her special offer that she was talking about underneath the video. And is there anything else that you want to say?
I'm so happy to be here on your show today. It's a huge honor to be interviewed and a huge honor for people to watch the interview. So thank you for watching. And I would love to connect with you in person.
Oh, that's so cool. Thanks, Tarzan. It was an honor to have you here. I really value your time and everybody watching. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. And if you're interested in being part of the Hen House and hanging out with Rocky, and this is actually my real Rocky, like one of my girlfriends painted him, and he when I left my big 10-acre farm, he couldn't come with, so she knew that this is this little lady in the background.
He's beautiful. He's absolutely beautiful.
I'm like, I'm totally like, and I'm kind of the chicken lady, so I'm like, Rocky is gonna like watch over all of us.
You know what's great is that with this screen right now, he actually looks like an eagle.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, for sure. Yeah, like a bald eagle. He's got
probably shining on it funny, but yeah, it's just a treasured little piece of art that I had, and it's super special to me. But so he's watching. So thanks, Tarzan. I'm really excited that you were here and grateful that you took the time today to chat with me. And I look forward to seeing everybody soon. And and if anybody else wants to be on the Hen House and you'd like to have it be interviewed and showcase your amazing special sauce of your creative business, comment or email me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Thanks.